Good evening, I'm Byron Scott with a CTV News update. And we have an update on a homicide we told you about yesterday. This was the scene of the crime, High Point Grocery and Tobacco on Wheeler Road in Oxon Hill near the D.C. border. Investigators now say the victim, 27-year-old D'Angelo Washington of D.C., was an employee at the store. He was shot to death inside. The search for the killer continues. Anyone with information about the case is asked to contact police. And childcare could soon become more accessible and affordable to Marylanders under a new partnership between the state's Department of Commerce and the Department of Education. The result, an $11.5 million investment across scores of childcare facilities in the state. Department of Education officials expect an influx of enrollment at state childcare facilities due to the scholarship program's fast-track application and early access portal.
We know that having access to quality early care and education in the early years is very impactful long term. And we know that it will support Maryland children and their families in being kindergarten ready. And so that's our hope, is to increase the scale and increase the use of the Child Care Scholarship and make it more accessible to everyone.
The departments will use the additional funds to promote higher quality child care. And school safety is one of the top issues on the agenda of Millard House, the new school's superintendent for Prince George's County. By the fall, all high schools and several middle schools will have metal detectors. House is the county's third schools chief in 5 years. He takes over from Monica Golson, who resigned in part because of what she called dysfunction on the school board. House says he's up to the task.
The one thing that I know about each one of our board members is that they want our students to perform. They want our students to succeed. They want our students to ensure that they walk into society as successful individuals. So we're going to walk into a very positive environment with our board and make sure that we're moving forward and not taking steps back.
And tomorrow we'll hear why House thinks he can reach his goals in Prince George's. And some Maryland 529 prepaid accounts will get 6% retroactive interest. Maryland Treasurer Derek Davis says he will apply the funds to accounts in the state's College Savings Trust, delivering a win to parents who invested in the plan more than a year ago. Now, the state suspended earnings on 31,000 prepaid tuition accounts, citing a calculation error. The error reportedly inflated balances in the accounts. Parents angrily accused the agency of breach of contract. Davis says priority will be given to account holders with children attending college in the fall. And among the world of dinosaurs, a recent discovery in Laurel is ginormous. Paleontologists with the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission have recently discovered a bone bed containing the fossils of one or more species of bones, some of which are still being unearthed, were found at the Dinosaur Park in Laurel. The find includes a 3-foot-long shin bone from an Acrocanthosaurus, the large theropod from the early Cretaceous period. Officials say it's the first of its kind discovery in Maryland since 1887.
Finally, we're beginning to get multiple bones, some of whom represent probably the same individual. That will give us a lot more information than we had in the past. Most of the history of the dinosaur fossils from here and from other sites in PG County have been an isolated tooth here and part of a leg bone there and so forth. And we can tease information out of that, sure. But it's a lot more informative if we have multiple bones from a particular individual, because then we can understand its evolutionary relationships, its anatomy, its function, a lot more.
The find marked the largest theropod fossil discovery in eastern North America. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. COVID has hit Americans hard in so many ways, and now the latest is hitting homeowners hard. Stay tuned for Patricia Vallone's second part of a foreclosure series up next on CTV News. Don't go away.
Are you a Maryland homeowner struggling to pay your mortgage or other housing-related bills due to the COVID-19 pandemic? The state of Maryland is offering free help through the Homeowner Assistance Fund. You may be eligible for financial assistance for past due mortgage payments, property taxes, home insurance, HOA fees, and more. You can even apply for help with emergency home repairs. Visit homeownerassistance.maryland.gov or call 833-676-0119 to learn more.
Welcome back. A foreclosure crisis, which has been quietly making its way across the U.S., has been skyrocketing since COVID hit our shores. In Patricia Vallone's second part of her special report, she takes a look at how the pandemic has affected the housing market.
As we learned yesterday, foreclosures are once again on the rise nationwide. Some are residual foreclosures from predatory loans originating 15 to 20 years ago, but others are more recent due to a major health crisis that turned into a global pandemic.
So somebody may have taken a forbearance for 12 months and incurred maybe $15,000, $18,000 of missed payments, and the servicer is now saying, you need to pay that full amount now or we're filing foreclosure. And that's what they're doing.
The loan forbearances and government assistance that many homeowners got during the pandemic have nearly come to an end, and that's led to an increase in distressed borrowers.
Foreclosure rates increased in both Maryland and across the country this past May as homeowners grappled with the lingering effects of foreclosure moratoriums and high interest rates.
Now we have a new issue, which I will call the post-COVID foreclosures, where people were told that they would be put into what they called a COVID forbearance. However, those terms were never in writing. Those terms, if they were non-federally backed loans, such as not Fannie, Freddie, FHA, or VA, it is basically the wild, wild west because the servicers were doing whatever they wanted.
A property data group called ATOM reports a 4% monthly increase in Maryland for May 2023, the second highest foreclosure rate nationwide for the month. That equates to about 1 in every 2,200 housing units. On top of that, Maryland has seen a 40% rise in foreclosures over the last 2 years, ever since the moratorium ended in June 2021. Foreclosure compliance consultant Beth Jacobson says there is a federal program that can help homeowners who have struggled since the beginning of the pandemic.
There's a federal program out there called HAF, H-A-F, Homeowners Assistance Fund. This is grant money from the federal government as part of COVID relief. This is for any borrower that was current on their mortgage, first or second mortgage, as of March 2020.
You don't have to prove that you were negatively impacted by COVID to apply for the Homeowner Assistance Fund. Just provide a recent mortgage statement, copy of the deed, proof of income, social security number, and a driver's license. Once a homeowner applies to the HAF program, an initial foreclosure complaint can be halted until a decision is made by the agency. A homeowner can also appeal a denial. A foreclosure cannot restart until after an appeal is denied. And mediation is your only option if a final loss mitigation affidavit has already been issued. If that's unsuccessful, the borrower has 15 days to file a motion under Maryland Rule 14-211, or their rights will be waived for a foreclosure defense.
It's really sad when I get calls when people literally say my house is going up for sale in 2 days. They didn't do anything ahead of time. They didn't go to mediation. They didn't file a motion. There may be something that can be done. We'll review the records, but the more proactive the homeowner is, the more chance is that they can get all of this resolved, get a loan modification, and move on with their life.
Between May 2022 and May 2023, there were nearly 16,000 foreclosure notices sent to homeowners in Prince George's County. Analysts say, don't wait to become a statistic. If you would like more information or need assistance with the Maryland Homeowner Assistance Fund, log on to dhcd.maryland.gov.
And coming up, Simon Buggs with your Wednesday sports page. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone, and coming up in sports, a player the Nationals selected in the MLB draft talks about joining his new team, and 2 Maryland athletes stay local for their college careers. Stay right there.
Have you ever wanted to make a difference but didn't know where to start? Well, it's easier than you think. Volunteering is more important than ever, yet 66% of people think they can't make an impact. At Points of Light, we believe that you can make a difference every day. That's why we do our part to help you do yours. We'll help you turn your passion into action, plus show you how making a difference can be so much more. To get started, visit pointsoflight.org today.
A former Prince George's lawmaker has passed away. Former State Senator Tommy Broadwater died yesterday afternoon at the age of 81. He was elected to the Senate back in 1974, spending 9 years in the General Assembly. He became the first black lawmaker from the Prince George's to serve in this chamber. Broadwater didn't escape controversy. He spent 4 months in federal prison in 1984 for food stamp fraud. He was a graduate of Fairmont Heights High School and attended Southeastern University in the district. And the Lake Arbor Jazz Festival is back. Get ready for 5 days of good food, music, and fun right here in the county. Organizer Lisa Alexander spoke about all the excitement in store for this weekend.
Prince George's County is rich with diversity of people, of experiences, of preferences, and rather than always having to go across the bridge to other counties, and we'll leave them unnamed, we want to make sure we create quality entertainment right here in Prince George's County, gorgeous Prince George's. The great news is the community has come out in full force this year, so several of our events are already sold out. But don't lose hope, we have 2 events where tickets are remaining. One is tonight at the Prince George's Community College. It's our pre-concert festival event featuring Najee and Frank McComb. That'll be this evening starting at 6 p.m. And then we have tickets for Saturday's festival at the Lake Arbor Community Center, which is our hallmark event, happens every year. It's wonderful.
The festival is hosted by the Prince George's Cultural Arts Foundation. Proceeds help provide scholarships to college-bound students. Head to the site on your screen for tickets.
Okay, everybody, it's time for your Wednesday sports page. We'll start with the MLB. This is an exciting time for Nationals fans as the team drafts for the future. One player Washington took in the MLB draft is third baseman Yohandy Morales out of the University of Miami with the 40th pick. In the 2023 season, Morales racked up 20 homers, 13 doubles, 70 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, and 55 strikeouts. Morales spoke recently on what he brings to the Nats as well as how he can improve as a player.
I mean, just a performer and a player that's going to get out there and try to win ball games. Just all-around player that's going to try to do what he can to win. There's always something to work on. My defense, offensive side, of course, just cutting down the swings and misses, and just my mobility, getting more athletic.
Morales also touched on his excitement to play with first-round pick Dylan Cruz.
I feel like Washington got 2 of the best college hitters in the draft, if I'm being honest. I played with Dylan since I was younger, so I played with him a lot, so that's going to be a special group when we go out there and ready to hit some baseballs.
Moving on to college football, the Terps will have some local talent joining them. The first player, DeJuan Williams, is the running back from Baltimore in the class of 2024. The 4-star recruit from St. Francis Academy averaged an impressive 8.2 yards per carry for the Panthers this past season. Williams is ranked as a top 10 prospect in the state and the 20th best back in the nation. Another player, Keyshawn Flowers, is a linebacker from Severn, Maryland. Flowers, also in the class of 2024, played well at Archbishop Spalding this past season. He totaled 81 tackles and 5 sacks. Flowers is currently ranked as the state's 13th best prospect and the top 50 linebacker in the nation. And that is your Wednesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thank you, Simon. Let's now get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low near 72. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high around 95. Friday, possible thunderstorms with a high near 89. Saturday, partly sunny, possible showers and a high around 90. And that's our news for tonight. I'm Byron Scott. See you tomorrow night. Good night.
Some say e-cigarettes aren't dangerous.
But science shows nicotine can harm teens' developing brains.
No matter how they're exposed.
Let's do an experiment to find out.
Here's a teen who won't be using e-cigarettes.
Now we need one willing to risk their brain development.
Anyone care to volunteer your kid?
Anyone?
Your kids are not an experiment. Protect them from e-cigarettes.